Hi friends, welcome back. Today I'm taking you through a full day using my index card system. I'll show you how I take the stack and break it down into smaller sections to keep me on track without being overwhelmed. So grab something cozy to drink, stay tuned for more, and welcome to Natasha's Healthy Living. Welcome back to my home. I'm so glad you're joining me today. If you've seen some of my other index card videos, then you might be wondering how exactly this works as I go throughout my day. So this is the corner in my kitchen where I keep my index cards. I have my daughter's tasks in that little slot, and then this is the slot that I usually use for mine. So let's take the box over to a spot where I can film a little easier and I'll share some more details with you. Okay, so here is my index card system. I have those other two videos, which I'll link below, that talk about how to set the system up and just some of the general tips and guidelines and the things I love about it. So we're in September. Today is Tuesday, September 9th. So I have my divider there, the monthly divider with the calendar to help me see the dates of things. So I'm going to take yesterday's divider, the 8th, and move that to the back so it is ready as we move through the month. So here I have everything in front of the 9th to remind me of what I need to get done. So we have, I'm going to go through them real quickly and I'll talk about how I'm sorting them and what I'm going to do. So we have refilling the Hummingbird feeder. That's not a huge important thing that has to be done this morning, so that's probably going to be later this afternoon. I have writing in my daughter's memory book, which I've already done. That's part of my morning routine. So I'm just going to move that right away into the slot for the 10th. Today is the day that I normally clean the master bathroom, and that means I'll also wash my towels and rugs. So that's part of my morning routine. I haven't done a face mask in a while, and the last time I did one was on the 27th of August, and I'd like to do one. So I'm putting that at the end of the day, maybe tonight at bedtime. My daughter and I could do that together. I also need to sweep my kitchen floor. This is on the fluorescent card because it's something that anyone in the house can do. So if I don't get to this before my daughter gets home from school, then I may have her work on that. So that's kind of an afternoon thing. This is my zone cleaning card for the kitchen, and these are the zone cleaning tasks. As you can see, I just set this card up in July and didn't get much done over the summer. So I'm it's time to do some zone cleaning, but we'll see how much time I have this morning. That's most likely going to be an afternoon job. So I've got those in my afternoon stack. I do need to write out a grief book for a dear friend whose husband passed away. So if I can get that done this morning, that way I could take it to the post office on my way out because I'm not sure on the postage. So I'm going to start with that in the morning, but we'll see how it goes. Same with the budget check-in. It'd be nice to do that this morning. I'm not sure if I can or not. And scheduling the appointment, if I can get that done, great. If not, I'll move that to the afternoon. I already know for dinner we're just going to do sandwiches, so I don't have any meal prep I need to do, but I keep this card in my daily rotation just to remind me to think about it, make sure there's nothing that I need to get out and chop or prep. So since I've already had that moment of thinking about it and I know I don't need to do anything else, I'm just going to file that in tomorrow. And then I'll most likely do this scrubbing of my sink. I don't think I need to use my Bon Ami cleanser yet. I can just do it with a washcloth with some soap on it, because it's not too bad, but I'll do that at the end of the day. So that's an evening item as well. So now that I have them sorted into my evening, I'll put those in first. Then the afternoon ones will go next, and then the morning ones. And I'm gonna start with the priority items that I know I need to get done first thing, just because it helps with the timing of the day. And that is swish and swipe the master bathroom and then take the towels out and the rugs and put those in the laundry. So let's get to that. My first card of the morning is a bathroom swish and swipe, and I do this because it gets it out of the way quickly in the morning before I have too much time to think about how much I don't want to do it. And if I keep up with it, we have 3 main bathrooms in our home, so by doing a different one each day, even if I miss a day here and there, overall they all stay in good shape and they're company ready, and it makes me feel like this big overwhelming task is broken up into these small, easy to accomplish tasks instead. And then I like to grab up the towels and rugs before I get started cleaning. I like to take the rugs outside and shake them first. It just gets off any dust and hair so that when I put them in the wash, it's just a little bit less that's going through the filter of the washing machine, because I hate to clean that too. So trying to keep up with these little tasks that I can do preemptively and keep things moving along without extra work is something I like to just throw in here and there as I'm going throughout my day. And I'm keeping this whole clip in. I'm not editing because I just want to show how quickly I can go through this swish and swipe process. So I'm cleaning my toilet, I'm spraying down the mirror and sink and cleaning that, and spraying down the toilet in a second and cleaning that as well. So if you ever feel like it's just too much and too hard, keep in mind how much you can get done in just a few minutes time. This took me less than 5 minutes to clean the main part of the bathroom. Now the shower, I just keep a spray bottle with cleaner and a little scrub brush that hangs on the side of the shower. And when I'm in the shower every couple of days, I spritz a side of it or a third of it and spray and scrub that down while I'm letting my conditioner sit on my hair. So that way my shower stays in pretty good shape too, and it's not a big overwhelming task to get my bathroom clean. So the main bedroom bath has been cleaned, so I can move that to the next Tuesday. So that's going to be next week on the 16th. So I'm going to put that in front of the 16th, and that one is done. Now I can take my load of towels and rugs from the main bathroom down to the basement, and I'll run that load and get it going before I leave for work. I like to start a load of laundry in the morning so that by the afternoon I can switch it over and keep the cycle moving. Sometimes I'll start the load the night before and use the timer feature on my washing machine if I'm either running behind or for whatever reason we need to get that load done even earlier in the morning. But typically this system works pretty well just to do it on my way out the door in the morning. On this particular day, there was a load of mostly my daughter's clothes that was left in the dryer from the night before, so I just grabbed that out so that those items could be sorted and put away probably this afternoon once we're home from school and work and have a little more time. But getting that moved to the next step in the process is always a good thing because it's one step closer to being put away. Okay, so my towels and rugs are in the wash. I'm gonna go ahead and move that to next Tuesday, the 16th, because I know we'll just pick that back up this afternoon and get those finished, because I'll walk into my bathroom and see that I'm missing those. So now the cards and letters, I'm running out of time, so I think I'm going to have to push that to either this afternoon or tomorrow. So for right now, I'm just gonna put it at the back of my stack. I am going to make a quick phone call and go ahead and get my appointment scheduled. I need to get my car inspected for to get the plates renewed. I don't think I have that on here, but it just reminded me because I had this appointment schedule card that kind of flowed through my system. It reminded me to get that scheduled. So let me get my planner and make that phone call and see when they can get me in. Okay, I film on my phone, so I wasn't able to show you my phone call to get the inspection scheduled, but I did call and get the inspection scheduled. So I have that checked off the list here, and I'll just show you I added it to my monthly calendar to remind me when that's coming up next week. And then I needed to just check it off. This is my list of home tasks for the week. I actually did that already, and I got that scheduled. And the last place I want to make sure that I add it is next week. So it was on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and I haven't gone through and set up the rest of the week yet, but this will be a good start because I know I have that. And this is terrible handwriting. But it's enough to remind me when I go in to do my weekly plan, I can take a look at that. So this kind of is a way to talk about how I use the cards in conjunction with my planner as well. So my planner is for scheduling tasks and lots of the to-dos and one-off items that happen in any given day or week. And I know I've talked about this before, but people that are finding the system still ask, how do I do the cards and the planner and how does that all work together? So my card system is really more for recurring tasks around the home. You can expand it to more, but that's how I'm using it right now. And then my planner is all the other things. And in order to remind myself about my index cards, I do have a checklist here for my habits for the week. And that's just a place to remind me to take a look at my cards each day. And if I skip a day, it's okay. I just catch up what I can or move ahead into the system, the stuff that I didn't get done and it could be pushed off another week. You can decide how you do the system, but that's how I'm doing it. Now let's move on to, I got this scheduled, so we can go ahead and put this in. I'm gonna put this in the last week of the month, which starts on the let's do the 22nd, since the 29th there's only 2 days left at that point for September. So let's put this on the 22nd, and that's just one more chance to remind myself if there's any other appointments I need to get scheduled. Now the budget check-in is the next card here, and that's going to happen after work in the afternoon. So we've basically gone through what I can do this morning. I need to head off to work, so these are going to be my afternoon cards when I get back. One of the last things I'll do before I head off is take just a few minutes to tidy up my kitchen. And this is something that I used to have as a card in my system. And I've gotten to the point where it's pretty much a habit and a routine, so I don't feel like I need the card to remind me every day. So I just put that card at the very back of my stack. If I ever get to the point where I feel like I'm not keeping up with this routine very well, or I just want to be reminded of it, or perhaps I want to delegate to someone else, I can just pull that card back out from the back of the stack and put it back in rotation. But having the cards help me build these habits and routines has been a really nice benefit to the system.
There are some that I still do pretty much on automatic, but I keep the card in the system because I want to have that reminder and that accountability. So it's up to you to decide how that goes for you. If you're going to start pulling cards out because it's become a habit, or if you want to keep them in the system, you can decide with every card what you want to do. But I like having a chance to get my kitchen in a little bit better shape before I leave in the morning. And that way, when I get home this afternoon, I'm coming home to a little bit less mess and a little bit less that I need to do. And it just makes the house feel calmer and I feel more ready for the day. Now it's the afternoon and we're back home from school and work. So while my daughter goes through her backpack and gets a snack, I'm just doing a couple of my cards. So the first one I'm doing is to refill the Hummingbird feeder and get that hung back up outside so my little hummers are happy again. Once I hung that up outside, I ran down to the basement to switch the load of laundry to the dryer and keep that moving along.
So now that we're back home, I'm gonna just take a quick peek. I think the budget check-in is probably gonna get pushed to tomorrow because I'm tired and I know my brain isn't working very well. So we're gonna put that in tomorrow the 10th, and I work from home tomorrow, so that's a little more of a doable task tomorrow. I'm not sure yet if I'll get to any zone cleaning, so that remains to be seen. Same with the sweeping, I'll probably do that after dinner. But here's my little Hummingbird feeder, and I've been doing that every other day. Now that it's a little bit cooler, it seems like it's okay every other day. So we'll put that in here on the 11th. And scrubbing the sink is also this evening. So we're basically down to these evening tasks, and the writing letters and packages, I'm not sure if I'll get to that tonight. Again, my brain is pretty tired and full from my day at my accounting job. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make that a tomorrow job on the 10th. So I'm just making that executive decision that when I'm fresh and I'm working from home tomorrow, that'll be a better day to do that. And we're back to these last couple of things. So I'm going to work on probably a little bit of let's go ahead and do this. I bet I can set my timer for 5 minutes and see if I could get done at least a little bit of dusting. I know the light fixtures here in the kitchen need to be dusted, so let's see what I can get done in 5 minutes and try to get something checked off of this card.
I never got around to setting my timer, but just telling myself that I was only going to work for 5 minutes and I was only going to do those light fixtures was just enough to get me moving. And once I had finished those, I thought, well, I might as well continue on and at least dust a few of the dirty spots and wipe down the fronts of the cabinets. And that led to continuing on with my dusting project, wiping down most of the fronts of the appliances and later even getting out my feather duster. So it's really amazing what the magic of your mindset can do. Just setting that small goal of a very short amount of time, just 5 minutes to do the task, is enough to get me moving, and it can really help us move through that feeling of not wanting to do it, especially these jobs that aren't that much fun. But that little bit of motivation was all it took, and then I got a whole lot more accomplished, and it felt really good. And just like that, I could take my feather duster outside and bless the outside with that dust, as the Fly Lady says, and it felt great to get that done. Since I had the dusting done, it was a good time to spray down the countertop. So I got my favorite Healthy Home Cleaning Spray from Jordan Essentials to give my island counter a really good thorough cleaning and wipe down. And it feels good. All these little improvements I'm making as I work through what started out as just one little card and one little task has really got the kitchen feeling so much better, and doing things like this countertop wipe down really feels like sort of the icing on the cake, and it's that little finishing touch that makes the kitchen feel that much cleaner.
Well, I got more done than I realized I would, so that's always a good thing. So I did my dusting for the month of September, and I cleaned the lights, and I think that's it for now. Oh, and I did wipe down the cabinets. I think that's part of the dusting. I need to put that on here actually. Dust and cabs. So the cabinet fronts have been wiped down and all of the high surfaces have been dusted. I did work on the light fixtures. So that's a good amount to get done in my zone cleaning for this, just for this one day. And I have several more days yet this week, so I can try to get some more zone cleaning done as we move along. And that brings me to sweeping my kitchen. So I'm just gonna take my zone cleaning card and put it in tomorrow's slot, so that'll be something I pick up and work on again tomorrow. I think I'm gonna sweep once we get dinner made, because I still need to clean up over by my stove and wipe down those counters on that side. But at least the island is now clean and all of the high surfaces have been dusted, which feels really good. So we'll come back in a little bit once I've had dinner and done some sweeping.
Now it's after dinner, and I have all of the pots and pans washed and sitting off to the side drying. So it was a great time to grab a little dish soap and my cloth and give my kitchen sink a good wipe down and scrub. It's amazing how it can accumulate just a layer of grime and gunk. I'm always shocked, I don't know why, but when I just scrub it down a little bit, then it looks nice and bright white again and feels so much cleaner, and it dries faster. So it feels good to get that done every few days. I don't necessarily do it every day, but when it starts to feel and look a little grimy, I definitely know it's time. And I mentioned this earlier, because it's an enameled sink, a white enameled sink, usually about once a week I will get out my Bon Ami cleanser and really do a scrub. That actually has some minerals that kind of buff and shine the enamel, and it also can help with staining and keep it really bright white. So if you have any kind of enamel surfaces, it's definitely something to keep in mind to use. It works great on even things like my white ramekins. When they start to get the gray marks from the silverware on them, I can use that Bon Ami cleanser, and it buffs away a lot of those gray stains as well. So it's just a good little kitchen helper to have around. As we're winding down in our evening routine, I got the dry towels and rugs out of the laundry. Normally I would have vacuumed and mopped in the primary bedroom suite before I put everything back down, but my husband took off work early today and was already home and ready to use the bathroom, and the floors weren't that bad. So I just decided it's fine, we'll do the sweeping and mopping next week, but at least now we have the clean towels and rugs all ready to go, so he could enjoy the nice clean bathroom as he's kind of getting relaxed and ready for his evening too. And that's one of the nice things about keeping up with the card system, is even if I skip one here and there, because overall I'm doing these jobs more often than I was before, everything's in a little bit better shape, which just keeps it easier to keep up with. It's not so much deep cleaning that has to be done. And on my way back to the kitchen, my husband noticed that we had a deer crossing from our yard to the neighbor's yard, which was just a nice little treat.
well, I've swept the kitchen floor. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. So I have this as a daily task. I'm gonna skip a day and do on the 11th for the next time I need to sweep. And then I already did my kitchen sink, scrubbed that down a little bit after I did the dishes. So that's also done, and I'm feeling the same way. I don't think I need to do it again tomorrow, so we'll put that on the 11th as well. So now it's time to just do some fun things. So I might see if my daughter wants to do a face mask with me. I think I'm gonna sit and watch some Father Brown, an episode of Father Brown. And I also need to do a little bit of mending and fix a blanket. So I might work on that too. But that is a day with my index cards. And that is my whole day with the index card system. I hope that was enjoyable and fun for you to see how I go about my day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and using the index cards along the way. It's simple, it's doable, and it keeps me moving without the overwhelm. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you use the index card system or if you're thinking about giving it a try. I'd love to hear from you. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.